know Michelle is a tramp.
Michelle Obama is a man.
Of course. Joan Rivers mentioned it publicly, and she was dead 2 weeks later, by the way.
Mr. Obama acquired powder cocaine for my use, crack cocaine for his use.
Kinds or 6 different kinds of pizza that night. Clooney's was excellent. Clooney's was excellent.
Party tonight at Jennifer Aniston's house. I'll see you there.
She does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza, yes.
Wonderful pizza.
They're talking about young kids who are going to be coming to a party to have fun.
Today's video, we're looking at the strangest stories surrounding Barack Obama. Stories claiming his wife might be a man, questions about his recently deceased chef, and supposedly satanic messages hidden in slogans. We'll also briefly touch on the leaked emails and why the topic of pizza comes up so often in Hollywood, where it always seems like they're talking about something other than pizza. Barack Obama was born in 1961 in Honolulu, Hawaii. He was the son of a Kenyan father and an American mother who separated early on. He spent part of his childhood in Indonesia with his mother and stepfather, but later returned to Hawaii to live with his grandparents. Obama seemed to appear on the political stage out of nowhere. Before his presidency, he was barely known. Within just a few years, he rose from an unknown senator to the most powerful man in the world.
In 2004, the summer of 2004, Barack Obama gave the keynote address at the Democratic Convention in Boston. And when he walked to the podium, probably only a small percentage of people in the room knew how to pronounce his name. He was totally unheard of. No one knew Barack Obama at the time. 4 years later, he once again spoke to the Democratic Convention, but this time as the nominee. A small group of Democratic donors, mostly in Chicago, decided that Barack Obama was their guy. He was the vessel for their ambition.
Now on to the first story, which has been circulating for over 10 years. It didn't just come from random people, but from someone who claimed he was personally involved. About 15 years ago, Larry Sinclair uploaded a video in which he said he had met Barack Obama multiple times for sexual encounters and the use of various substances. Of course, we have to consider that plenty of rumors pop up when someone is about to run for president, but it doesn't look like he just made the whole thing up. He even said if anyone accused him of lying, he'd be willing to take a lie detector test alongside Obama, and it didn't seem like he was doing it for fame. Possibly for money. But that doesn't necessarily mean the story is untrue. In a second interview he gave about 10 years later, he talked repeatedly about a limousine driver. Apparently, the driver had told someone about it, and they eventually dealt with that man, who then spoke up about the whole story in exchange for money. He said Mr. Obama got powder for both of them. Mr. Obama knows these allegations are true, and he called on Obama to come forward and stop claiming his drug use was limited to his youth.
Mr. Obama acquired powder cocaine for my use, crack cocaine for his use. Mr. Obama knows these allegations to be true. I'm challenging Mr. Obama to come forth, be honest, stop claiming that his drug use is limited to his teenage years. 1999, you weren't a teenager. 1999, you were a state representative for the people of the state of Illinois. 1999, I performed oral sex on you in the back of my limo, as well as in my hotel room in Gurnee, Illinois, 2 days later. If you challenge the authenticity of this allegation, I challenge you to take a polygraph test, as I will submit to as well.
Sinclair recently resurfaced in the headlines, supposedly because Obama was rumored to be considering another run, prompting people to reopen old issues. About a year ago, Larry Sinclair gave an interview claiming everything happened exactly as he had originally said.
I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. He gets out, comes back. I start putting a line on a CD tray. And next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going. And it went the direction I had intended it to go.
For quite a while, there have been rumors that Obama's wife is actually a man. People claim they've noticed bulges and so on. But what stands out the most is that several well-known personalities have said she's a man. Recently, the father of Elon Musk reappeared and claimed the same thing, that Obama's wife is actually male. Joan Rivers, who also made that claim, died only 2 weeks after saying it. Yes, she was old at 81, but that she died shortly after this statement strikes some people, including Elon Musk's father, as suspicious.
Yeah. With Obama's approach, we realized we'd learned Obama's a queer married to a man who dresses as a woman. We'd all learned that. It's not common knowledge, that
Michelle Obama's a man.
Of course. You don't know that?
I didn't know that, no.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joan Rivers mentioned it publicly, and she was dead 2 weeks later, by the way.
Joan Rivers once said in a highly debated video clip that the U.S. had already had a gay president, referring to Barack Obama, and Michelle was a transgender woman.
Or the first woman president. We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay.
Many interpret it differently, pointing out scenes in which Obama supposedly slipped up and called his wife Michael.
Michael and I also want to acknowledge your son Jack, who's deployed today.
When Michelle's mad, I get worried.
The next clip shows why you shouldn't believe everything you see on the internet. I found a short video on TikTok and then got hold of the original, which showed it had obviously been edited. The footage was manipulated. In some sections, you might see a bulge, but that could simply be the way the pants fit. Another person rumored to be a man is, supposedly, the wife of the French president. In her case, people even talk about certain evidence, a medical certificate or an earlier birth certificate showing that Brigitte Macron used to have a different name. She's said to be her own allegedly deceased brother. If you look at certain photos, the resemblance is striking. Then there are other images.
You can respond, but it's this question about the French First Lady, Brigitte Macron, who you keep saying is a man.
You've got a team of journalists. Can you just simply find, she claims that the person that they found is actually her brother. Do you mind just finding me some photos of Brigitte Macron growing up for the first 30 years of her life? Could you find, and we can make it shorter, I'll give you the $100,000. Could you just find her brother? Could you just find a photo and make it easier? We don't have to wait for a trial to finish. Just find a photo and produce it. You and I can do it live on Twitter. You're going to say, this is the photo that I have found of Brigitte Macron.
Let me
and
respond.
I'll say, oh, you $100,000. Piers,
I don't believe for a moment.
Do you realize how
I don't
extraordinary
believe for a moment you think Brigitte Macron is a man.
Back to Obama. If Obama's wife is supposedly a man, the obvious question is, where did the kids come from? Many claim that Obama's daughters aren't actually his children, and that's not completely unfounded. If you look at certain pictures, you'll see who many people think the real parents might be. Another detail folks point to is the lack of any pregnancy or baby photos, which they see as further evidence the daughters aren't Obama's biological kids. Of course, there's nothing official about this. It's just rumor. Now let's look at one of the strangest stories. Around 10 years ago, people started saying that if you play a certain Obama slogan backwards, you hear hidden words.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Thank you, say. Thank you, say. Thank you, say.
Aleister Crowley, one of the most influential figures in modern occultism, advocated for reverse speech as a method of expanding consciousness and contacting demonic entities. In magical practices, things are often written, read, or heard backwards, so-called reverse messages. Occult practitioners often believe that reversing a symbol or a word can release a special kind of power. Spoken backwards, words are thought of as a kind of mirror world. Language, a doorway to hidden levels of consciousness. If you look at the name of Oprah's company, Harpo, you'll notice it's simply Oprah spelled in reverse. Even in the 60s and 70s, rumors were going around that certain bands like the Beatles or Led Zeppelin embedded hidden, sometimes satanic messages in their songs. One example is the song nicknamed May Queen, which was supposedly written in Aleister Crowley's house. Played backward, it allegedly sounds like a thank you speech to the devil. A rapper said to use this method is Eminem. In his track My Name Is, if you reverse it, you can hear the phrase My Name is Eminem. The cover of one of his singles references old magician posters, supposedly showing the same demon.
My name is Sadie. Yes,
Another artist who does this is Missy Elliott. But in her case, it might be more of a creative gimmick than magic, since the hook of her song Work It basically sounds the same forwards and backwards.
Put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's your primitive is why it's your primitive is why thing down, flip it and reverse it. Put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's your primitive is why listen up close while I take it backwards. Okay, begins to listen me, which I watch the way Missy like to take it backwards.
Another instance of alleged satanic backmasking is found in Jay-Z's track Lucifer. When it's reversed, it supposedly reveals a creepy hidden message.
Murder, murder, Jesus.
Back again to Obama. The case surrounding the death of Tafari Campbell, Obama's personal chef, has led to more and more questions. The first emergency call came in on the evening of July 23rd at 7:46 p.m., reporting that Campbell had fallen into the water and never resurfaced. That's where things got odd. Unlike all other calls made that night, no reason was given for this one. In other words, nobody noted why the call took place. Another strange detail is that his body wasn't recovered until a day later. The most suspicious part of all is that the police confirmed Campbell was not alone on the water, but they refused to disclose who was with him. His body was found about 30 meters from shore, at a depth of only about 2.5 meters. A lot of people say they find it hard to believe that a competent swimmer could simply drown in water that shallow while out on a paddleboard. Some rumors claim he might have known something about the pizza emails, but whether that's true is questionable, especially since he'd worked for Obama for years. Why would it come out now? Sticking to the topic, a few years back, certain documents were published that contained many leaked emails from politicians, including him and Obama. Some raised eyebrows because they mentioned spending thousands of dollars on pizza, like $65,000 worth. With that amount, you could practically start 1 or 2 entire hot dog stands. If you look at the list that appeared, it looks like some type of forum where people might have been ordering children. The truly interesting part is the code words that keep popping up, such as cheese pizza, which allegedly appears in those leaked emails as well. What's also intriguing is that in Hollywood, the topic of pizza often comes up, and almost every time it does, you get the feeling they're talking about something else entirely. Take, for instance, a scene with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston where they discuss pizza. It's odd how Jennifer Aniston reacts. Adam Sandler says something like, "We'd love to invite you," but in a way that suggests there's more going on. And suddenly Jennifer Aniston starts laughing.
So these circles of friends that you guys have, you told a story about going and having pizza at the Clooney's in Lake Como.
Yeah, that's all in Aniston. It's like George and I would love you to come over for pizza, but
how is the pizza?
Then it gets even weirder when Sandler talks about the different types of pizza, and Aniston abruptly tells him to hush.
Was it good?
Oh,
did he make it himself?
Mom's pizza was better than Clooney's. They both made. Everybody made a certain kind of pizza.
There's no pizza we didn't love.
Something that he doesn't.
5 different kinds. 5 different
else.
kinds or 6 different kinds of pizza that night. Clooney's was excellent. Clooney's was excellent.
The theme of pizza crops up a lot with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, and every single time they emphasize how amazing Jennifer Aniston's pizza is, while you always get the impression they're talking about something else entirely.
To show my appreciation, I am inviting you all to a pizza party tonight at Jennifer Aniston's house. I'll see you there.
We've had pizza. Girl after my own heart. Do we love a pizza or what? We love a pizza. We do. It's so much fun. So much fun. Now
They made us homemade pizza, and it was an amazing time. I sat next to Bono. It was a good day.
She
Her
can.
parties are incredible at her house, too.
Yeah, she does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza,
Wonderful pizza.
Let's turn to another post that was connected to all of this. An account belonging to the owner of a pizzeria linked to these events kept posting disturbing images. One that can be shown publicly was just a normal-looking industrial fridge or something similar. But what's unsettling is the hashtags in the comments, like #murder or #killroom, which indicates something very dark might be implied. On the Joe Rogan podcast, someone talked about these archived Instagram
pizza. They're talking about young kids who are going to be coming to a party to have fun. They're talking
They'll
about
be in the
pizza
pool,
and
they
hot
will be there
dogs.
for sure.
They'll-
$65,000 worth of hot dogs flown from Chicago for a
There's-
White House party.
The whole thing is like very weird.
Did you ever see the archived Instagram post from James Alefantis' Instagram?
No.
Because that's a dark place. Photo of like a walk-in freezer, and it's like, man, looks like you've been having a fun weekend. Things like that are just super dark. And a bunch of babies and a bunch of symbolism, a bunch of children, and it's all photos on their Instagram in plain daylight.